Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Text to image models are not just about creating enemies, dragon photos, and all of those weird stuff which we see every day on numerous websites. These text to image models or image to image models, especially the stable diffusion ones or the flux ones, they are quite good for value added services or for generating new and novel ideas. If you look at your screen, at the moment I am showing you a Comfy UI workflow where I have generated this architectural diagram with the help of a stable diffusion model called as Pony Realism. In this video, not only I'm going to show you how you can do that by yourself, but also we will have a look at few of very important concepts like how you can create or edit a workflow in ComfyUI very easily, plus how you can use different models together, especially a LoRA model on top of the base model, and I will also explain what exactly that means in simple words. And because the focus of this channel is not just on AI engineers or machine learning professionals, rather it is for the common people who are just entering into the field and they want to learn about all of this mumbo jumbo in simple words. So I will be clearing it off and then I will generate similar sort of images after creating this whole thing again, and I will walk you through step by step in very simple words, so stay tuned. So for starter, let me click on clear here on the right hand side in this menu, and it is going to delete everything from here. Now, before I move forward, I would highly suggest that you need to know what ComfyUI is. If you don't know it, go to my channel and then from there just search with ComfyUI and you will see this first video, which is easiest tutorial on ComfyUI. If you're following along, then please watch this video first, get ComfyUI installed on your local system, and then resume this video. Because in this video I have explained what ComfyUI is, which is just a node-based graphical user interface to create images from text or input images, and a lot of other details around ComfyUI's architecture and structure, so please watch that video. So I'm assuming that you already have installed ComfyUI and it is running on your local system and you are aware of basics of ComfyUI at this point. So now next step, let me show you this Pony model. So this is an SDXL model or stable diffusion XL model. Stable diffusion models are simply models which enable you to generate images from text prompt or image prompts. There are a lot of variations and versions of stable diffusion models. One of the recent one is SDXL, and this Pony model is based on that SDXL model. Now, this is quite a performant model and really of very good quality, and this has been used in various models already. Now, if you go through its model card on Civitae, which I will drop the link in video's description, you will see that it is a versatile SDXL fine-tuned capable of producing stunning visuals of various anthro, feral or humanoid species and their interactions based on simple natural language prompts. Now, fine-tuned models are those models which take the base model or the pre-trained model and then modify it or adapt it as per specific use case, as per their own data set. So this Pony diffusion is especially, I would say, geared towards humanoids, which are more towards anime style images. Now, but we are interested in some architectural stuff. So if you go there, you will see that there is this majestic fantasy architecture model which is also present on the Civitae. Now I want to install this model. How would I do that? It looks great, but it at first glance, if you're just starting out, it is quite overwhelming to know how can I get this installed in ComfyUI. So this is what I'm going to explain in this video step by step. So bear with me. Now, first thing, Okay, so before I show you that, let me also give a huge shout out to Massed Compute for sponsoring the VM and GPU for this video. If you're looking to rent a GPU on affordable prices, I will drop the link to their website in video description. Plus, I'm also going to give you a coupon code of 50% discount on a range of GPUs. Okay, so now we are here. So whenever you stumble upon a model on Civitai or Hugging Face, especially I feel that for the image models or stable diffusion models, Civitai is a better size site because it has so many details around it. So anyway, so for example, we want to install this Majestic Fantasy Architecture by this LoRA. So how do I install it? This is a question. For that, first step you need to see is that what is the type of the model. You see the type of the model here is LoRA. LoRA stands for low rank adaptation. LoRA model is a model that fine tunes a pre-trained base model for specific tasks like text to image generation. LoRA adapts this pre-trained model and in or base model, which in this case, as you can see here, is Pony. So LoRA adapts this Pony model to learn new style, new theme or domain with minimal training data. And this enables more precise and controlled image generation like creating art deco style buildings or fantasy landscape as this is happening on this LoRA model. Also, the size of LoRAs are always very small because they don't change the existing model, rather they just create a new adapter on top of the existing model. So that is why they are very, very small. So now we know that this is a LoRA model. So it means that not only we need to download and install this LoRA model, we also have to install its Pony model. Now it just says Pony. So which Pony? Because this is a Pony diffusion, you can definitely use this one, which is a base model, but we need some more information as what exactly it means. So for that, normally what I do, I just click on any of the generated images here. Let's say, click on this one, look on right hand side and scroll down. You see it says resources used, and then it says this is the checkpoint or Pony Realism with v2.main and y. So I'll explain shortly what y is when I show you the workflow. So just focus on Pony Realism. So instead of using the base Pony model, it is using this Pony Realism model, which is another fine tune of the actual Pony model. So open this one. Once you open this one, you will be on this screen. So this is a Pony Realism it is using. So we need to download both of these model. Pony Realism for a base model, right? And then this is a LoRA model. So for that, and this is a base model Pony, but we don't need the Pony actual model, this model for this one. The reason being, it's a complete checkpoint. Checkpoint means the full model in simple words. So if it says LoRA, then we definitely also need to download the base model, but as it's a checkpoint model, so we don't need any other model. So now we have established that in order to install this architectural or Majestic Fantasy Architecture model, which is a LoRA model, we would need two models. So one's this model, the other one is its base model, which is Pony Realism. Now in order to, so how do I download it and where do I place it? For that, all you need to do is to right click on this download button first, which is a LoRa one, and then save link as. And as we are installing it in ComfyUI, go to wherever your ComfyUI is installed, go to models, and then because it's a LoRa model, you see there is a folder called as LoRa's. Click here and then save it here. I already have saved it. Let's cancel it. Go to Pony Realism, which is a base model or checkpoint model. Again, right click on this download button, save link as, and then go to ComfyUI models, click on checkpoints, and then save it here. As you can see, I have already saved it here. By the way, I also have downloaded the actual Pony Diffusion XL model here. So these are already, you don't need this second one. I'm just showing you for as an example, but you do need this Pony Realism one, which we already have downloaded. So let's cancel this. So we have downloaded both of the models which are required. Okay, so now it's the time to go to ComfyUI. Now in ComfyUI, once you have downloaded it, then click on refresh. Once you click on refresh, it updates all the stuff at the backend. Now, for starting, I would highly suggest click on load default. It just loads the default workflow for you, and we are going to change it accordingly. Now, as I mentioned earlier, ComfyUI is based on nodes. So all of these are nodes. At the very left hand side, you see there is a load checkpoint. So checkpoint is our this Pony Realism model, which is a base model. Click on this and then select your Pony Realism here. That's done. Now, clip text and code, and these are for your prompts. The top one is for positive prompt, whatever you want to have in the image, the destination image, and the bottom one is negative prompt. And then we are just giving it an empty latent image. This is just an empty image which we are passing as an input, because we are just doing text to image, we are not doing image to image, so that is why we are keeping it empty. As I said, if you want to learn more about these nodes, please go to my this video and watch it. Okay, now then we have this case sampler. This is the heart of it. This is the thing which actually generates the image, and I will explain how it does it, what it does. I already have done it in that video, and also have done a separate video specifically on case sampler, but for this I'm just describing it. And then we have this way, or VAE, variational autoencoder, which is converting the image from latent space to pixel, and then we are showing it. Okay, so now what do we do here? We already have selected our Pony Realism. Next up, we need to select the LoRA model. How do we do that? Just make some space here, just adjacent to your load checkpoint. Double click here on the empty space, and then just search for load LoRA, and then this is the load LoRA here, and this is the node we have. Now you see right now this model is going to this model. We don't want it here. Let's join the output of load checkpoint model to this LoRA model. You see I have joined it here, and then you can join this clip from here to this clip. Clips is simply your clip model which primarily converts your text to embeddings. So I have joined it here. Next, join this model to this case sampler model. So now first it is loading our checkpoint, the actual base model, which is Pony Realism. Then it is loading LoRA. So we are placing this LoRA on top of this Pony Realism, and you see it already has selected this Majestic Fantasy, because that is only LoRA which is present there. So now we have specified our both models in this workflow. Now that is good and cool. So how do we cover rest of these stuff? How do we know about this? Let's go back to this Majestic Fantasy, and then click on any of the image here. It will give you more information. Now look at right hand side. When you look at right hand side, you see it is giving you the prompt for how this image was created. Just copy this whole prompt from here, go back to your ComfyUI and put it in here. Go back there, and then you see there is a negative prompt which we don't want in it. Just copy that negative prompt here, and then copy it in the bottom one. Now if you look closely, let me move it slightly here. You see negative prompt is going into the negative input of case sampler, positive prompt is going into the positive prompt of the case sampler. That is what is happening here, and model is going into the model, and this empty image is going into this latent image, which is fine. So now we have set up our prompts. Let's go back to that. Next up, these are few of the stuff which are the parameters in our case sampler. So it is saying guidance is equal to 6. Now guidance, what it says guidance here, it's a guidance scale, which in ComfyUI means the CFG value, and I'm just setting it to 6. So CFG is a classifier the higher value here means that it will be more adherent to your prompt, whatever you are mentioning here. The lower value like 0.2 or 0 would mean it will be very creative. It could print anything. So I'm just going to go with 6. Normally, I go with 0.7 or 8. It's a higher value, but this one, it is slightly lower, which is fine. 6 is fine too. It will be adhered to the prompt. Okay, let's go back. Next is saying steps 45. So these are the number of steps this case sampler takes to generate the images in simple words. These are 45. Click on it and then put 45 here. Go back. And then it says sampler is Euler A. It's a Euler ancestral one. So go to ComfyUI. And this sampler is the actual algorithm or mathematical formula which creates your image. So you see this is a Euler A, Euler ancestral. Select it. For scheduler, just go with Keras. It's a very good quality one. You can go with normal too. I normally use either normal or Keras. I prefer to use Keras. If I'm not getting good result, then I go back to normal. But Keras is my go-to one. You can keep the denoising as is. So noise and denoise. So go to my channel. Just search with denoise and watch this video that why noise and denoise happens in latent images. I think it's a good video. There are not many views, but I would highly suggest you watch it. I think you are going to enjoy this video if you're really looking to learn ComfyUI. Anyway, let's go back. So now we have set our case sampler values here, which is quite good. Another thing with these Pony Realism model is that you see it says there is a tip for setting this clip skip to 2. So clip skip means that some of the prompt is skipped during the image generation. This is what the model has been trained on. It's a recommended value for it. So how do I set it in ComfyUI? For that, ComfyUI provides a node. Just double click on the empty space and just type here clip set last layer. Select it, just put it here. Now you see it says -1 at the moment. So if you go here, it says sorry, not here it says 2. In ComfyUI it is taken as -2. So let's go back to here and then click here and then set it to -2 and click on OK. Now what we need to do here is that this clip at the moment from our load checkpoint is connecting to these two, right? So instead of connecting it to these two, you see that right now our clip from load checkpoint from here is going to this clip, and from here we just need to pick it up and join it to this clip set last layer, right? And then I'm just going to remove these from here, and then from here I'm just going to join this and I'm going to join this, and then from here I'm just going to already join this to positive and this is already joined to negative. So again, just to reiterate what is happening, clip is going from here to here, and from there, because we have set our clip set skip to -2, we have put the node in, and from here after applying this value we are specifying our positive negative prompt which are going into this here. Also, instead of using save image, I normally don't use this. I use a preview image. So double click here, select preview image, and then I'm just going to join this preview image here, and that is going to display hopefully image here. I'm just going to make it a bit bigger because we just want to see how the image looks like. So this is how you create the ComfyUI workflow quite easily. So if you really think about it, as long as your concepts are clear as what exactly each node is doing and where to find these stuff, you know what to do. And this is most of the stuff in terms of LoRA and all that stuff. So never get bogged down by all of these nodes and stuff. Just sit back, think about it, maybe watch this video again, and you should be able to tackle most of the workflows. Anyway, let's now run it with QPrompt. I'm going to click on this QPrompt here. Let's wait for it. And there you go. So you see it has generated this image for us. Now let's try out another prompt. I have few prompts which I have taken from their repo, plus I have also generated some of the prompts with ChatGPT. I'm just going to paste it here. So it's a different prompt. It says again Art Deco style, and then high point of view of futuristic city, impressive scenery, general view, massive, and all that stuff. One thing, maybe I'll just make it a bit bigger. One interesting thing I would show is the trigger word. So most of these LoRA adapters work on basis of trigger word. So what happens is that you see that we have specified this LoRA. So once the whole flow or the model, the actual model, this Pony Realism encounters this LoRA, it knows that it has to use the LoRA. There is no other way. So if you don't specify it, sometimes it respects that, sometimes not. So if you really want to make sure that you want it to follow it, you can you have to specify LoRA. There are other trigger words too, which I have used in other videos, but remember that trigger word is the magic word here in order for model to follow your prompt. Okay, let's run this one. On just click on QPrompt here. You see that case sampler is running and it is following all of the stuff here. I think I also missed one thing. I'll show you what I missed. So I go back to CVTI. You see it says there is seed value here. So I'm just going to grab that seed value and go back to ComfyUI because I don't really like the quality of the image here. So maybe that is why I'm just going to put the seed value here, click on OK here, and then let's run it again. So let's wait for it. Sampling, yeah, much better, you see. And then it is just adhering to the prompt. And also, as I explained earlier, this VAE is converting this image from the latent space to the pixel space. Let's try out one more. I'm just going to maybe I'll just give it a night view. I'm not sure how it works on the night view. Let's try it out. I'm just going to say that it's a city by night, impressive scenery, general view, massive monument, majestic building with perfect architecture. Yeah, so I don't think so it works on the night view. So so it didn't take the night view in perspective. So that is fine. Now, if you are not happy with the image or something like that, you can simply change your sampler here and try out with any other sampler. Another thing is that on the left hand side, you see I have selected Pony Realism. Let's also try it out with the Pony Diffusion XL, the base model. Let's see how it goes with that one. Let's wait for it. You see the active node is green and the case sampler will start running. Let's wait for it. There you see the image is quite dull. It's not as real as we would hope. So if I just change it to realism and generate it again, let's wait for it to get generated. And by the way, while it is generating, let me also show you my VRAM. So you see it is just using 7 GB of VRAM. So if you have an 8 GB VRAM GPU card, that should be enough. And look how real the image looks like. So this is what the difference is between Pony based and Pony Realism model here. Before I let you go, I would also like to thank our sponsors of the video, which are AgentQL. AgentQL is a query language for extracting data from web pages quickly, easily, and at scale. You can use the Python SDK to run your queries in production using Playwright and use the browser-based debugger for optimizing queries in real time on any web page. AgentQL is a robust alternative to fragile XPath and DOM CSS selectors, as it uses the power of AI to analyze the page structure to find the data you are looking for. So that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what do you think about these videos, especially on the ComfyUI plus how to go through these LoRas, as I believe that there is not much really information available, but please feel free to share your feedback in the comments. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're already subscribed, please do me a favor and share it among your network, as it helps a lot. Thank you for watching.